church family, just checking in on this Thursday afternoon. I've been working from home most of the time, and so I've been sitting in our home office looking out the window at the rain, and actually the sun just poked its head out here for a couple minutes. But I've been thinking about the fact that the clouds still exist in the sky, the water is still falling down, and it's offering relief to our earth. Thinking about the sun still existing, the thunder rolling off in the distance, and the fact that we are still here and we're still okay. So all week I've been reflecting upon our worship service from Sunday, and it was just such an incredible experience to be connected with each of you across the miles. It's just really a moving experience for me. And all week I've been singing our hymn from Sunday, the hymn that we sing every Interfaith Sunday. It's called For Everyone Born. And I've been singing it just over and over and over, I think much to the dismay of my spouse and maybe even the dog. But I just keep singing this one line. God will delight when we are creators of justice, joy, compassion, and peace. I don't know about you, but delight is probably the furthest emotion away from what I've been feeling this week. I've been feeling fear, anxiety, concern for myself, concern for my family, concern for all of you, but I haven't been feeling much delight. So when I think about what it would look like if God was delighting at the things that we were doing here on earth, it's kind of hard to imagine, because if you don't believe in necessarily a deity up, on a cloud in the sky, thinking of it maybe in terms of a human being, we know what delight would look like for God. If God were human, maybe smiles, laughter, a warm embrace. But what would God look like if God was actually delighting at what we were doing? If I think of God and the way that I think of God, the connection between all of us, the space and time that exists between each of us, what would it look like if that space and that time between each of us was actually full of delight? And if God delights when we create justice, maybe that looks like donating blood or caring for our elderly neighbors that need groceries. Justice is looking different in these times, but maybe God is delighting when we do those things. And maybe God is also delighting when we find joy in our lives. And again, I know that joy is maybe hard to find right now, but for me, I've found joy in going for a walk, playing with my dog, spending time with my spouse. I've also been doing a bit of crafting. I've been making these little paper flowers all week. And so maybe God is delighting when we find joy. Maybe God is delighting when we find compassion, when we help one another, and when we put our self-interest last instead of first. And maybe God is also delighting when we find a sense of peace. Again, something that is not super prevalent right now, but God delights when we find peace between ourselves and others, when we find peace with God. I know that it may be hard to find right now, but I'm hoping that this can be just a little bit of a reminder that there's still delight in the world, and that the things that we do in our lives right now can also be delightful and can delight God. So I hope as you go into the rest of this week, into this weekend, that you can remember that and you can find a little slice of it yourselves. Just a reminder that we are live streaming all of our worship services on our Facebook page. And then after the fact, they'll be on YouTube. Just the audio of the sermon will be on YouTube. And the text will be sent out to our email chain. And so if you need help accessing any of that, or if you need any assistance in this time, please feel free to reach out to me. Thinking of all of you, praying for all of you, and hoping that you find a bit of delight this week. Amen.